Welcome back. I'm so glad you've joined me on this Thursday. Now, this week we're focusing on the question so many go-getter women ask themselves, why do I start out strong, then shrink back in anxiety when the narcissist isn't even there anymore? Now, yesterday we looked at a big misbelief that's causing you to sabotage. Today we'll be talking about the common but alarming secret fear that you're not as sharp as you used to be before the narcissist. You know what I'm talking about? I remember feeling this way. So what's really going on here? You know, because you ask yourself, like, the narcissist is gone. Like, it's just me now and life should be okay. Shouldn't I be back to normal yet? Now, what you may not have known is that there's been some studies done, and it's shown that narcissistic abuse can cause symptoms mimicking, get this, brain damage, believe it or not. And it stems from a combination of trauma and exhaustion and even hormonal imbalance like adrenal fatigue causes and some other issues. You know, put it all in a pot and stir it up, and it impacts the way our brain is functioning. It can impact the way our gut functions. Our insides can be torn up when our stomach's been in a knot, and, it creates an unhealthy gut. Well, we know that our gut is where it is like the source of hormonal function throughout our body. It fuels so many other processes in our body. So all this stuff, when you put it together, we see then the symptoms like memory loss and having difficulty learning. Like, you might be on the job, or maybe you have your own business and there's some training you're trying to put yourself through, or you're trying to learn some new software or whatever, and you feel like it's just not clicking. You might even be trying to read a book and you're having to reread the same paragraph 3 times because it's just blinking out of your mind as fast as you try to read it. And it's really frustrating. You may have some difficulty even retaining new information. You find yourself being forgetful, and your teenager is like, Mom, I already told you this. Remember I told you this was going on tonight? And you're like, no, I don't remember. They're like, I told you twice. And this sort of thing is happening over and over again. Maybe you find that you're a lot more easily confused than you used to be. Maybe your tolerance to stress, the bar has been lowered way down on that. Your stress response kicks in a lot earlier than it used to because you're just done, Maybe you find yourself even constantly losing your train of thought. You're trying to give a presentation for business and you're on a roll, and in the middle of it, you just lose your train of thought, right? Like, everybody does that now and then, but maybe these kind of symptoms are happening enough that it's caught your attention and you're feeling troubled by this. And you can also have some physical issues that go along with this too, like digestive struggles I mentioned earlier, headaches, dizziness, just weird aches and pains. Just your immune system can feel compromised, and you come down with every bug that comes along, and you're just not feeling as strong as you used to be. Maybe you just feel fatigued all the time. Well, let me reassure you, although it feels like something is wrong with your brain, there's nothing going on that can't be solved and healed. As a matter of fact, just like in all the other ways we were talking about, you can come back from this better than you were before when you focus on dealing with the source, the root cause of what's going on, and then working on making those improvements. Now, remember, this is very common following narcissistic abuse or any other issue that is like a shock to your system, a shock to your life in some way. And certainly narcissistic abuse qualifies for that. But other things too, like experiencing a natural disaster, having a sudden death in your family that you weren't expecting, the loss of a job, things that are just preoccupying your mind, all this kind of stuff can tie in with this. But absolutely, narcissistic abuse can cause these issues. Remember, you can and you will return to sharp functioning. You will return to physical vibrancy if you do what's necessary to face the issues and resolve them thoroughly rather than just ignoring and trying to power through. We women, our strength is that we can find an inner reserve and press through, and we can power through. But that's also what gets in our way. And there comes a day when that inner reserve is gone. And coming out of narcissistic abuse, our inner reserves are probably long gone. And if you just press through telling yourself, okay, well, the narc is gone, everything should be cool, I just got to carry on, everyone's expecting me to be back to normal. There's a lot riding I have to produce now, right? You can have your tank so empty that you live in a chronic state of feeling like you're not sharp, like something's not right. So you may find it to be very helpful to clear your plate of demands as much as possible. This is temporary, but clear your plate so that your precious energy can be focused on healing instead of just trying to make it through the day, just trying to meet the next demand. So think through, what can you do to help clear the deck a bit of demands? Are you doing a lot of volunteer work with your church? While that is a wonderful thing, if it's not adding energy to you, if it's not bringing joy to you, then take a hiatus from it. You can always come back to it later when your inner reserve is more replenished, and then you're able to give and to serve out of the overflow instead of a I have to kind of thing, because people are expecting me to, counting on me to. Are there things around the house that you can delegate out to your kids? Can you delegate it out to someone that you've hired to come do things? Are there ways that you can make your weekdays flow smoother, like maybe on Sundays do meal prep as much as possible, so all you have to do during the week is just pull something out and pop it in the oven, right? Like, what can you do to clear your plate of demands? Can you, if you're a business owner and you've set certain challenging goals and you're like, okay, here's my goals for the quarter, here's my goals for the year, can you lower the bar on some of that to reduce the pressure on yourself? Because you're going to need your time and your energy and some focus to resolve these issues that's causing your brain to not work as well as it can. All right? It doesn't mean you're weak. It's just a symptom of something. It's like when you're driving your car and that red light is on the dashboard that says check engine light. Yeah, there's something going on there. You might be able to keep driving for a while, but sooner or later, you're going to have to pay the piper on that. So that's what we want you to do, is to make some space, create some margin so that you can address these issues, right? Now, I hope that was helpful to you. Join me again tomorrow morning, because I'm going to be sharing 3 steps that will be some great foundational things to put in place that's going to help you begin resolving all 4 of these problems that we've discussed this week, because we want you to be able to start strong and finish strong, because that's who you really are, right? Remember, Wendy and I are with you on this journey to provide some guidance and wisdom and challenge to grow. So don't try to do this on your own. Be sure to include God in this process and focus on becoming just a little bit better than you were yesterday. That is your success marker. Not that you've achieved a certain thing, a certain objective, but it is the journey. The success is found in the journey, and you will rediscover you, all the wonderful parts of you, and some wonderful new things as you continue to press forward. Be sure to like, subscribe, and share this episode so it can help some other people. Check out the show description for some additional helpful resources. You might have some questions or things you want to chat about. You can email me at hello@AnnetteChesney.com. But whatever you do, keep pressing forward in this healing journey, because your best is yet to come. I'll see you tomorrow.